Professor Samer. He spoke about infected EVAR and TEVAR after endovascular repair of impending rupture thoracic aortic aneurysm. اتفضل دكتور سامر.
Good afternoon. I'm going to present an infected thoracoabdominal aortic case, which is a really complicated case. This case reminds me of an old Western movie called The Good, Bad, and Ugly. And this our case went like these 3 stages. So let's start with the good stage first. Patient 69 years old, he referred to us with an enlarging 8.5 centimeter thoracoabdominal aortic aneurysm, extending from the mid-thoracic all the way to aortic bifurcation. He came with a severe back pain, past medical history significant for hypertension, diabetes. He has a history of cardiac arrest secondary to arrhythmia, and he has a pacemaker. And he has a complete cardiac workup by the cardiology and anesthesia, and he been declared as very high risk for open repair. This is CT angiogram, and you can see he has a complicated large thoracoabdominal aortic aneurysm with a 2 kink. And the problem also you can see here, the bulge here. And this is, I think, the impending rupture, the reason why he's having this back pain. And this is CT scan also, you can see the size of the aneurysm, and you can see the bulge here in the abdominal part of his thoracoabdominal aortic aneurysm. So what option we have? His option, branch of infiltrated TEVAR. The problem is it takes a time, and this patient has an almost impending rupture, so it was not a good options. We thought about chimney because all this kink will be very complicated, difficult to do a chimney with this 2 kink in the thoracoabdominal aortic aneurysm. Open surgical repair out of question because patient has for surgery. So we decided to go with a hybrid repair. So we did a stage first. We took him surgery, expiratory laparotomy. We did debranching for all his abdominal vessels. So from the left common iliac artery, we took bifurcated graft, one to the left renal, one to the SMA. And from the right common iliac artery, we took a bypass, also bifurcated from right to the right renal and celiac artery. After surgery, he did fine. He just has mild deterioration in his kidney function, but went back to normal in a couple of days, no paraplegia, no stroke. Everything was fine. A couple of days after that, he has elevated WBC, so we did a CAT scan, and we found he has a large pancreatic pseudocyst of the pancreas and multiple abdominal collection. We did an ultrasound guide drainage, and it came back culture as Klebsiella pneumonia. And this is a CT scan, and you can see here's a large pseudoaneurysms, and you can see the pelvic collection. So we did drain for this one percutaneously, and he did fine, but a couple of days he started having an abdominal pain. We repeat a CAT scan. At that time, we noticed his aneurysm is enlarging about 1.5 centimeters. Because we already finished with debranching, so we took him right away, and we deployed an TEVAR and EVAR for him, which was straightforward because he already has debranching, which did fine. This is during the surgery. You can see this is a TEVAR plus the EVAR, and this is down, sorry. And down you can see our debranch here going to the all-visceral artery. So he did fine. After surgery, his abdominal pain improved. 2 days later on, he started having fever and elevated WBC. So we repeat a CAT scan. There was no endoleak, but still fluid collection, multiple abdominal fluid collection, and still has a pancreatic pseudocyst. And we did also ultrasound guide drainage, and still came as Klebsiella pneumonia. And you can see here it has multiple abdominal abscesses here. And you can see our repair is very good. This is our here is no endoleak, but the problem is the pseudocyst and the multiple abdominal collection. So at that time, we said we have to take him to surgery and evacuate all this multiple loculated fluid. So this is his 3rd surgery. We take him back, we explore his abdomen, we drain all intra-abdominal pelvic abscesses. At that time, we looked at our bypass debranching. Everything looks fine, there's no infection. Even we cannot see them, they were very incorporated in the tissue. So he did well after surgery, and we sent him home on PO antibiotic after he became afebrile and WBC went back to normal. And we are very happy with that, and we are said we're done with this patient. Then we come to the bad stage. 2 weeks later, he came back to the ER with nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite, and diarrhea. WBC is elevated. We repeat a CAT scan. And now we see a fluid collection around the left bypasses, which going to the left renal and SMA with the air fluid. So now here, we can see it here. This is our bypasses here, and you can see air fluid level. Our main aneurysm looks fine. There's no problem in the endoleak. This is the right bypass, looks fine. So only we have a collection around the left bypass going to the left kidney and SMA. So what should we do? Conservative or CT-guided drainage or open repair? Again, he's high risk for surgery. We said, let's do CT-guided drainage, and we did that, and we started him again on antibiotics. So we did that. He responded that couple of days, and the culture came back this time as a candida with enterococcus and Klebsiella faecalis. So at that time, we said, this is too much, then we have to take this part of the graft. So here we are, we take him to surgery. This is number 4. We explore the abdomen, and this time we go retroperitoneal. We take the left bypass graft, and we put a reverse vein graft between the left external iliac artery and going to the left renal and to the SMA. And we drained all retroperitoneal abscess. He did fine. Put him on antibiotic, TBN, and we repeat CAT scan and showed everything looks fine now. We still have very good here, and you can see here is no more collection. This is our other bypasses here. So everything looks fine now, and he did fine after that. And this is a 3D reconstruction again. You can see our all bypasses working very well, and this is thoracoabdominal aneurysm repair and no endoleak. So we're so happy we're done with that. Said hopefully we don't see him again. Of course, we have to go to the final stage. New Year Eve, he decided to give us a visit to the ER. So 2 months later, he came to the ER with a fever, nausea, vomiting, and a gastric abdominal pain. We admitted him, started him on antibiotic again, DBN, get stat CAT scan. And here is what we have now. Now we have air fluid inside our sac. So we have now the main aneurysm. Now we have an infection in the main aneurysms. The 2 bypasses looks fine here, no more abscesses. But now we have an abscess inside our main aneurysm sac. So what we do, this is a PET scan, confirm that. So what we can do? I think the only option to have taken to surgery. He's high risk for surgery, but no other options. So in January 2019, we took him to the surgery. We did a large thoracoabdominal aortic aneurysm. We opened the thoracoabdominal. We extract everything, TVAR, EVAR. And we have a very active transplant team, so we have a homograft. So we get 2 thoracic homografts. We have to suture it together to get enough length. And we recreate the thoracic aorta from almost mid-thoracic aorta all the way down to the bifurcation. And this is the incisions here, and this is our homograft. And this is during the surgery. You can see the pus here. You can see we're extracting all the graft here, and this after surgery. After surgery, he did fine. Kidney, normal kidney function, no stroke. Only thing he developed vertebral osteomyelitis, treated with antibiotics, and then discharged home and lifelong antibiotic. And he did fine after that, finally. So what my message is, I've been now about 2 years after surgery, has been doing fine. What my message is that high risk for surgery, it should not be used liberally. Like this patient, he went through 5 surgeries, he did fine. If he's never been labeled as a high risk for surgery, I would done open thoracoabdominal aneurysm on him from the beginning. So we have to be very careful when somebody say high risk for surgery. I think we need to have to depend on more like subjective measuring to say is patient high risk or not. But just to talk liberally that patient high risk for surgery, I think is not correct. You know, again, this patient, even though high risk for surgery, he went through 5 surgeries, he did fine. Even of them very complicated. And finally, never give up. Always remember, when everything goes wrong, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you very much.